Hey there, I am Kai Graham and I am the in-house parenting expert in the Eden Room, so good to see you. Today we are talking about managing stress. So this is great for you. It's great for anyone really, isn't it? Because in the world that we live in, there's a heck of a lot going on, and it just depends what we find stressful. Some things we take in our stride and other things we don't. And so it's important as an individual to learn how to handle stress. Now, I do discuss it in my book, which is the Teen Toolbox. And I mentioned here that, what is stress? So there are sort of, 3 different forms of stress. There's emotional stress, which is the symptoms such as anxiety, panic attacks and depression. Sort of many of us might know those. It's also the physical signs of stress. The nausea, the palpitations, the insomnia, the sweaty palms, your legs turning to lead, whatever. And lots of kids that I speak to, sickness is a big thing, or tummy aches, or that sort of stuff. And it is the body's way of going, watch out, something's going on here and I can't cope with it. And then there's the mental stress, which is the loss in confidence, the mood swings, poor concentration, inability to learn, and all that sort of stuff. So stress comes in all shapes and sizes. And as I said earlier, what affects you might not affect someone else. So it's trusting yourself and knowing what is going on. I call it the jumble. And it's when we're being pulled in all directions. It's when we are feeling totally overwhelmed, when life throws us curveballs. And do you know what? You know that sort of phrase when you sort of feel, oh God, life's kicking me when I'm down. And if we're not careful, we enter into that cycle of negativity and that cycle of becoming a victim. And so we end up sort of being a bit like the rabbit in the headlights, where we're just sort of totally overwhelmed because we're permanently being sort of hit with some more stressful situations. So the thing is sort of, what do we do about it? And I think the thing is first of all, is acknowledging that jumble, acknowledging the chaos, the confusion, the overwhelm, not having the bandwidth to cope, and just stop and go, flip, this is hard work, this is me not coping. And it's teaching your child to do that, not shying away from their feelings, not shying away from what's going on. It's accepting it. Once you've sort of been able to put the brakes on and go, this is what I'm going through. Because what we tend to do is, oh, no, I don't have time for this. Or no, I've got to keep on going. Or no, this isn't this, I've got to just be perfect at everything. And we put ourselves under so much pressure. So I think the trick is to sit with it and be comfortable. One of my mentors sort of said, Kai, it's time to be comfortable with the discomfort. And I suddenly thought, flip, that's allowed? Okay, I can do that. Now, it doesn't feel fantastic, but actually it felt better than trying to push it away, because what happens is our brain sort of goes, no, this is a situation you need to pay attention to. And so that feeling, those emotions come back bigger, which makes us even more confused and agitated. And, so it's actually been sitting and making a friend with those feelings rather than pushing them all away. Does that make sense? And then what you do is just to acknowledge it with breath. Acknowledge it by breathing in. Acknowledge you're breathing in. And then breathing out that rubbish. Breathing in the good stuff, the calm, the confidence. What do you want to feel? Serenity. What do you want to get rid of? Oh, that murky, horrid feeling, that lack of confidence, that confusion, that muddledness. And breathe it out and get rid of it, physically get rid of it. And just accept that that's okay, because when we start calming everything down by breath work, we are basically speaking to the amygdala, which is the fight or flight bit in our brain. We're speaking to it in a language that it understands. And we're saying to it, you don't have to run away. There is no saber-toothed tiger here. What was I stressed about? My maths homework. What was I stressed about? A presentation. What was I stressed about? Seeing the mother-in-law for whatever. It's what was I stressed about? Okay, acknowledge that, but actually it's not a saber-toothed tiger. It is not life-threatening, and it is not going to eat me up. Okay? I don't want you to get rid of stress altogether, because stress is the body's natural way of saying, watch out. It'll stop you putting your hand in the fire. It'll stop you walking in front of the number 74 bus. So it's important that we are still able to acknowledge what those triggers are and acknowledge the signs. But also, if you suddenly think, oh, do you know what? It's only an exam, or it's only, whatever, or it's only not getting to a level in fortnight, or whatever, whoever is finding whatever stressful, it's not life-threatening, and I'm going to sit with this, and I'm going to be okay. Because at the minute when we are feeling terribly stressful, our mind is bouncing, it's muddled, it's all over the place, and it stops us because it's confused and chaotic. It's stopping us think clearly. It's not, we are not able to problem solve, we are not able to sort of work out what's going on, and it just creates future worries for us. So be with that jumble and acknowledge it and make friends with it. And it's, oh, here you are. Yeah, my old friend, we've been there before. It's okay. And actually, that which stressed me before, we survived that, didn't we? And we got over it. And there are other ways that you can do that. Other ways. I think the thing is, it's really important to acknowledge that when we feel stressed, it's when we run out of bandwidth. And so it's important to work out what you can do to practice self-care. It might be eating well, it might be getting the proper amount of sleep. Adults need 7 to 8 hours, but teenagers need 8 or 9, at least 9 really, hours sleep. Yeah, so if they're getting up for school, or if they're getting up for lectures, they are going to be robbed of sleep, and so that is one of the first factors that gets to that stressed and befuddled mind. So allow them to sleep in during the weekend. I know it goes against the grain, but that's important. But hydrating properly, getting the right food, meditative, that's your thing. Just being at one and easy with what's going on. There's another great exercise which I want you to try with your child, because invariably they are sitting there feeling worried or upset or fearful or whatever, and invariably it's at school. So get them to get one of these, not necessarily a green Crayola, but a pen or a pencil or whatever, and get them to put it in their teeth like this. Okay? Can you hear me? Do you know what I'm saying? Put it in your teeth, just like that. And keep your teeth gritted and look a bit like a smile. So, right like that. Because what you're doing is you are tricking the brain into thinking, they're smiling. They're happy. Yeah, okay. Well, if they're happy and they're smiling, then they need some more serotonin and oxytocin to make them feel better. And we did stop. You don't need to have the cortisol. No, stop the cortisol. That's fine, because they're happy. They're smiling. Okay. Now, when you're sitting at your desks or writing, it's not that bonkers to be like this, is it? You just sit there like that at your desk, and someone might just look at you, but they're not sort of going to think, well, at least you're not doing star jumps in the middle of the classroom. But that, especially in exams, is a great way of going, okay, let's just calm down. Let's just do this. You only have to do for about a minute, the longer the better, but you are training the brain to realise that the feel-good hormones need to come out, because all is well, because you're happy and smiling. Okay? So, try that. And it's a great way for your child to think that they have got control over their emotions at a stressful time. So I hope that helps. Okay. And if you need more, get in contact with me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. I sort of present at the Eden Room once a month. If there are any questions, ask us, because we can do live Q&As for you. So we can do something like that. We can set up an event if that's what you need. Just reach out, because we're here to make your life easier. Okay? So until next time in the Eden Room, I'll speak to you soon.